Hey guys, I'm Aiden. I'm part of the CAD team here at Robotics, and welcome to our second Fusion 260 tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this little FTC bot using parts that we've downloaded online, and using some custom parts and things that we've already made. I once again have Vinayak with me here today.
Hi.
Alright, so let's just get right into this. I'm going to try and make it a bit quicker than last time. So in the description, first off, you're going to see a download for a folder that is called Parts Catalog, which will have all the parts we're going to be using today. Obviously, if you're making a bigger FTC bot, you're going to have a whole lot of parts that you organize. I just got the parts that we're using, which are all these. So, Vinayak, if you go to tutorial, do you see this little parts catalog folder?
I'm pulling it up right now. Parts catalog. Yep.
All right, great. So let's go to our student work folder, and we're gonna go. Well, you go to Vinayak, I'll go to Aiden, and open that, and then create a new folder. Try to say new folder like we did last time, and name it FTC bot. I'll just call mine FTC bot again because I just did this, and I don't want to have the same folder, same name of a folder. And let me know when you're finished with that.
Yeah, I finished.
Oh, great. That's great. All right. So first thing, I had that open. I'm going to leave this open in case I need to reference it. Most of the time, you'd be referencing a drawing or sketch you had, or you'll have a person next to you telling you, let's do this, or let's do that. So I have my untitled folder, and I'm just going to save it. And normally I'd name it whatever the name of the bot is, or season, or whatever. But for now, I just name it my bot, and then type 1, because this is the first iteration. As you can see here, I did mess up. I kind of forgot to do iterations because it was such a simple bot. However, if I go to FTC bot again, I did go back and correct those. So now we have all the different stages. So let's just go right into this. So we have FTC bot, and we're just gonna then, once you save the first one into the folder, we're just gonna go all the way back to the tutorial or wherever your parts are, and have the parts catalog open, and just leave it here because it's very nice to have this like accessible. So we're gonna be using the joint tool and some other fun features to get this final result. So first off, we're just gonna come here into our folder, and we're gonna insert a 192 millimeter long. Go build a. There are a lot of things. You can call these trenches. You can call these channels, which is what they're normally
Oh,
called.
how exactly do you insert them into the thing?
Great question. So, as you can see here, I'm assuming you're watching the screen share, right? Right.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, as you can see here, you just right click, and then you hit insert into current design, and make sure you have my bot open. You have to save a design before you can actually insert a piece into it, which is why I had to save it to begin with. But the way Fusion works, I can also load designs from other projects as well, which is what I was doing. I was just like, okay, I'll use this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece into this project from the original FTC Skystone 2019-2020 bot. All right, so I'm assuming you have the 192 millimeter channel in, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, great. Most of the time, these would be organized into different parts and things, but we're not worried about that. So I'm just going to reference this as my drawing. Just going to see that's 144. Okay, so we're going to take this piece and we're just going to leave it there. We don't really need to touch that. And then we're going to insert a 144 millimeter piece. Now, most of the time you'd have drawn out and you'd have exactly, because you'd look at the part catalog and you'd say, let's do this, let's do that, and just try to get a good base of a frame going. You may even convert it into inches to see measurements. All right, so we're going to get this piece like this, and then we're going to rotate it. Because it should have brought up the ability to move it. Did that happen automatically when you put it in? You could just start moving it?
Yeah.
All right, great. So I kind of,
Well, did you say plate or did you say like
the
bracket
144, the channel, not the plate.
deal? Yeah, okay, my bad.
No. I should have put those
Yeah,
in different
I
folders.
accidentally inserted the
It's fine. You can just delete it. You can hide it,
I
but it's
did.
not. Yeah, there's like 100 things you can do with it. So now we're in here. We're gonna be doing we're gonna join these two together because there's a few things you could do. You could do joints, or you could do, what is it called? It is called a, let me just, it's called a rigid group. Most of the time you select the pieces like this, and then you hit rigid group there, and that will create a solid group. And that's useful, but the problem is there's not individual joints you can edit in case you need to remove a piece. So let's say I need a modified piece, the whole thing has to be undone. While in this situation, I could just remove 1 or 2 joints and then add them back in. So it's a lot less messy in my opinion. So once again, by using our joint tool, we're going to click on this piece, because the first piece you select is the one you're going to move. So on the 144mm channel, we're going to come here, and you see this little plate. We want to kind of put this flat, because it can go at all angles. And you want to select this line. Let me go over this once again. So you want to see, we have this line, and you can select different points. We want to do automatically in the middle, which Fusion knows. And then we kind of want to put it to the side, so we're flat on this way. Then we want to come to this, where we want to attach it to, and put it right here as well. And that did kind of work, but that's not what we want. So what we can do is you can hit flip, and that's what we want. So flip will just do put it on this point, but it was on the other side. So just flipping does it the other way around. So now it should look something like this. Is that correct, Vinayak?
Yeah, mine looks pretty much like that.
Alright, great. So now what we can do is a little cheat. Instead of inserting 2 more, we can select these like this or any other way. Just hold Shift or Alt or whatever and just select them in the top menu. Then hit Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and now we can copy these and rotate it around. And then we push this over here. Then we can do the same thing, because these should be, oh, these are not jointed. So these aren't jointed, so I'm actually going to show you a rigid group right now as well. So you just select both of these. Any of the ways we showed you before, and hit right click on the thing on the menu right here, and then click rigid group, include child components. We gone over that last time. Those are components in this. Just have it checked most of the time. It's fine. And now it's one solid group. Then we want to move it or joint. If we want to make this whole thing a rigid group, we'd want to move them together or joint them together. I went over that last time as well. So it just did the same thing again. And we're just going to hit flip. Now, it may only show this one moving, because that's the only part that's moving. Because when I hit OK, as you can see, it just went like that. Is everything clear, Vinayak? Is you following along?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Great. So now we're going to insert the 144mm plate. And most of the time, it would take a lot longer than this, because you'd be messing around, trying to get stuff done, etc. But I'm just trying to keep this nice and quick, just get to introduce at how FTC kind of operates. So what I'm going to do here is I can measure this, and I know this is 144mm, and I know that is 72mm divided in half. And the reason that is because theoretically these, unless you just put them on a table like this, they can't connect. There's no holes for them to be screwed into each other. You have to add brackets here or here or here. And most of the time, you'd make sure that it can support everything. We're just going to do something a lot more basic. We're going to put this bracket on top. However, it'd be kind of a waste of bracket, Vinayak, if we just put one bracket on top for every single one, and I don't even know if it could fit all the way here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this. Now, most of the time, you'd think if you remember how everything works, we just come here, click this, and hit E to extrude, and then pull it back. Well, the first problem is this is a new body, so you go to cut, but there's no target body to cut into. It's an error. So what we have to do actually is, because of some thing in Fusion, we have to right click on this and hit break link. This will remove that little link thing there, and now we can actually edit this. And then you can always type like 10 and it automatically goes to millimeters, or you could type negative and 72 and it will automatically cut it. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Time out. I actually did a little bit wrong, right? What's it called? Like, when I did this, right? What's it called? I didn't notice until I actually like shifted my cube, but I attached the 144mm plate to the 129mm plate. I did it like, like higher, so that it didn't actually look good, and so I would like redo it. So like, give me like a little bit of a second to remake this.
So or like On mine, is it just like one of these is shifted, or the whole thing is shifted, or?
No, I mean like I joined like, so let's just say like, do you see the 144 millimeter one?
This
It's
one.
like higher
It's
than
like
what
higher,
the
like this.
one. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's fine because
No.
we're about to joint it. Oh, you mean like one of the
No.
channels is
Like,
higher?
yeah. I already joined it, so I have to like
Well, there's actually a
because
few
when I
things you can do. You
inserted
can
it in, I had to
you can edit this joint, and you can
Oh.
change how it joints like this, as you can see. So we know this is connected here. So in this case, I'm gonna edit
What?
the
It's a
joint.
little too late for that.
All right, well it's fine. I'm just showing for the future. Let's say this is slightly
Yeah.
off, and you didn't
Yeah.
realize it until like, let's say you're looking head on, because otherwise it looks kind of normal. What you can do is you can hit here. You could just delete it by hit right clicking and delete, or edit joint. And obviously I just shift this back down, or I can remove this and remove. Oh, I guess I have to select it again. So I just remove that, and then I come here, and then I could change this and select this one right here. Now, obviously, because I shifted it upwards, it's going to stay upwards, but I just put this back down. All right, are we back on track, Vinayak?
Yeah, pretty much. Hold on, I'm just trying to make this thing get to 0 on the y-axis. So give me a second. Gotta type that in.
I mean, yeah, you can. I personally
cool.
don't do that. I don't really worry about that until the very end of the project because things may shift, stuff like that.
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
So, do you have the 144 millimeter plate cut in half?
No, give me like a little bit longer. I'm almost there. Really close.
No problem. Just remember, you have to make sure that you didn't what's it called? You broke the link. So while Vinayak does that, I'm just gonna copy this a few times and hit capture position, and then just move it around like this. And then you know what I could do is, because these two are gonna go on. Oh, these two are gonna be. Why is this acting strange? I don't know. That was acting weird. Okay, there we go. Because these two are gonna go on this side. They're facing the right way. But the other two aren't, so I just Control-C, Control-V, capture position, then rotate them around.
Alright, that's perfect.
Oh, no, don't use it.
Oh, Aiden, what do I do again when I have, like, the L-shaped deal? And what do I do again after that?
For what view?
When I have, like, the L-shaped thing, you know how there's, like, when I connect the first two brackets, what do I do again to get the next two to make the square?
So what you do is you can basically click on the first two. So click on the first two and then hit Control-C, Control-V, and then rotate them, not that way, rotate them 90 degrees like this. I know I'm going pretty quick for you guys. If I apologize, I'm sorry for going really quick. I just realized the last tutorial was a bit longer, so I'm trying to speed up the pace a bit because I don't think anyone wants to watch a 1 hour and a half long tutorial ever again.
I do.
Well, yeah, but
it was actually an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Damn.
The time seems staggering, but once you're in there, because you're constantly doing things, I think that's the main thing. Because like you could watch like 15 tutorials that total to like 2 hours, or a whole one and all tutorial. All right. So do you have the square that looks like this now?
Give me 1 second. I just have to join them.
No problem. I may not cut this part out, guys. I'm sorry if I don't. The problem is, it's just, if I try to cut this out, even though it's like changing like removing 30 seconds or removing 20 seconds, the small edit I did last time cost me 2 hours, two hours and a half, because it had to render the entire video again. So
Damn.
I'll probably just type dead space and have you skip ahead into the video, if that's okay, because there's no real point while you're waiting around. But yeah, and it's not Vinayak's fault. You guys may be going through this as well. You may go through it longer, you may go through it shorter. All right, Vinayak, let me know when you're done.
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty much there, so go ahead.
Alright, so now we have all our brackets, and we're just going to continue what we were doing. Now, most of the time, we don't add screws because unless it's very, very tight and we're not sure about whether it's going to fit in or not. So I'm just going to grab the bottom here. So I got this, push it a little bit in, select that, change my view using this, and drag, and then push it away from me to move around. And then we're just going to come here. So this is back on this line, and then let's push it forward a bit. Careful. Nope. Oh shoot, I just realized this is in the middle. You gotta be careful where you grab your joints because some parts may be different. So I'm just gonna joint on the corner this time instead. Let's just grab to that angle, sure. Oh. Wow, the fusion's getting a little laggy. Alright, so get it right on there by moving it forward. And now it's jointed there. Now this whole thing is jointed with the plate. Oh, I have these cloned. There you go, let me just delete those. But now this whole thing's jointed with the plate, but it's still only semi-realistic because only these two are attached. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach the other four. We may have more, we may have less in the future for realism. I really don't know because I'm not 100% build. And this is really, once again, guys, just to get you introduced to CAD and how it would work in, your season. And your team may not be using Go Builder components. Your team may be using, I don't know, a numerous of other different companies. But these are the ones we use, so this is the one we're going to teach a tutorial for. But all of them pretty much, they have their own simple, different designs for the channels. But basically, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty much uniform. You can connect the holes to the holes. I misclicked there. I can just come back, put that there. There we go. And then I'm almost done. Vinayak, how far are you along?
I'm right with you.
Alright, great. Alright, so see, I don't really want to take the time to redo this. Normally I wouldn't speak during this, I just do it. But as you can see, I did it on the bottom one, it's facing flat, which isn't the normal angle, but you can really work with it. And there we go. So, we normally wouldn't put screws in because that would require finding the screws and nuts and everything. There's no point. But here we are. So now we have the entire base done. And that's pretty much it for the MyBot part 1. So Vinayak, you can stay on in your folder. I'm just gonna show them, and well, I guess also you. Oh, fusion. There we go. I'm just gonna show everyone, and including yourself, how I would do how it's gonna happen. So first, you're gonna want to save, because it's just gonna save wherever you originally saved it, which is in your FTC bot. And then you're gonna hit File, Save As. And it's normally going to try and save it maybe where you are. It can kind of change. So you just want to make sure it's going to save tutorial, students work, Aiden, FTC bot again, and then you're going to hit MyBot 1, name it MyBot 2, and then hit refresh. So now we have the second one, and it's exactly the same, but that's fine because we're going to add stuff to this one. So we're going to go about adding the wheels now, and I don't have the bearings and motors because, once again, this is supposed to be a bit shorter. We're just trying to get you introduced to it. So let's go back to tutorial and parts catalog. And I showcased how to add color last time. I'm also going to do it again because that was a little bit later in the tutorial. So, Vinayak, I'm going to take the left wheel. You're going to take the right wheel, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So you want to just double click to open it, or any component really. And then in here, as you can see, you don't have to add them to every single one because that'd be kind of take a bit of time. Actually, let's add it to every single one. Why not? So what I normally do is to find the components I'm going to be changing is I double click on them because this is one body or component or whatever they decide to make it. So I double click and then somewhere in here it will show me. So that's a high durability roller. Oh, that's the bearing. So then I should just be able to just hold shift and then double click on every single one like this. And then basically you can just select all these at once. And since our school colors are black and red, Vinayak, do you want to pick black or do you want to be red? What color do you want to make your wheel?
I'll find a black.
Alright, so then just hit A for appearance, or you just right click and then hit the appearance button. It's kind of like a color wheel. And then we can select any color we really want. And, you know, this just really can just make the designs look a little nicer and also just a little bit, you know, a bit more professional. So, textured, let's try to, I really have to search through these and figure it out. So I found these opaque, this glossy black, key, remove appliances. We're going to remove them because we don't want them. And that's looking pretty cool if you ask me. So once I'm done, I'm just going to hit save. And then it'll update for everything. So while Vinayak does that, and he's adding his own color because it may take a bit longer, I'm going to actually insert the current wheel before he saves it into my bot 2. And the reason I'm going to do this is so I can showcase how to update things again in case you missed that part of the tutorial last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this flat, so 280 degrees, because that's one of the 4 of the 90 degrees angle variants. That's not it, but that should be hopefully close enough for it to work. Or actually, I'm just going to click on this and hit M to move it, and then we can just move this up 90 degrees. Beautiful. Now, the way I'm pretty sure Mecanum wheels work is you have to pick, you have to basically know, the way Mecanum wheels work as far as I know, I may be completely wrong because I just had to quickly look it up beforehand, but they're basically going to, all the little wheels are going to point in towards the center. So if I insert the left one into my drawing as well, and then if I, well, that's at a weird angle. Okay, so if I just move this, I don't know, this way and then this way.
In this fusion, lagging a lot for you?
It's lagging a little bit sometimes, yeah.
I'm getting a fair amount of lag.
It's probably, it may have something to do with their servers. Since
Probably.
if we're both experiencing it, it's probably one of their local servers just getting an update, so they have to shift the traffic somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I just go off of. So here we are. So the way Mecanum wheels work is, pretend there were 2 more, is it makes an X. So this wheel is here, it'd also be here, well obviously, but copied, and it makes an X because this point in this way, like it goes, the angle of these wheels are on a slant. Like this wheels aren't angled this way, they're angled this way. And alright, Vinayak, did you add color to the right wheel?
No, still looking.
Alright, so while he does that, I'm just gonna show you how to put the wheels on. We're just gonna once again joint them. And we're gonna joint them, but we're gonna, I actually forgot to do this, but we can do it this time. Just click here, and then click here. And now you see this gets put on, but you know, we don't want some lame normal just stiff thing. We wanted them to revolve around this because it looks really cool in my opinion. So if I hit OK, now this has the option to revolve around it, which just, in my opinion, is a little bit nicer, and also being able to create animations and things without having to go back and edit it is nice. Now, obviously, you don't have to do it for every single part, especially in some situations where you don't know if you're going to keep it, but it's just a nice thing to have. So, once again, we just do the same thing here, then copy these 2. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to flip them like this, 180 degrees. And then there you go. So now we have, as you can see, if I go to the top, although it's very off, this faces this way, so it goes at this angle, and these go at this angles. So joint, and then put this here, put this here, and then motion. It already has that. Animate, just if you hit animate, it just shows the animation once again, because you know, let's say you missed, like you weren't paying attention, you're like, wait, what does that one do? You can just stop and start it. Alright, Vinayak, could you find a color?
Yeah.
Alright, did you save, did you apply it to the wheels? To the right wheel?
Yeah.
Alright, and did you save it?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Oh,
No,
don't
I'm doing that.
What'd you say? Sorry? Did you save it or did you not save it? Vinayak, are you there?
Doing that right now. Hold on.
Alright, no problem.
Yeah, my phone's like really low on battery, so like I'm gonna have to disconnect the call for a second and then.
No problem. Go ahead and get a charger. So, while he does that, I'm just gonna wait for this. I'll probably just once again put dead space in this. We've been recording for 25 minutes. We're making good progress. I'd like to keep this under 45. Maybe even get under 40 because we don't have that much left to do, to be honest.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
No problem. I don't know why Fusion's acting up. Oh, that's on a frozen screen. So while we wait for Fusion, I'm just gonna show you. Let me go to go build a site. There we go. So this is the go build a kit. This is what it all comes with. It has all the pictures. Those are like view channels or something. I don't remember the name. It actually doesn't come with any of the big channels that we would use. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't see that. Anyway, so oh, Vinayak I think left the call.
No, I'm back now.
Oh,
I left his.
Yep, there we go.
I was getting a charger.
No problem, no problem. So here, as you can see, it includes all this stuff. I only accept cookies.
Wait, Aiden, what are you doing now?
I'm just showcasing the Go Build a Site and how you get an FTC kit. So
Okay.
like,
Wait, hold on, Aiden, cut the vid.
Cut the vid. Why? It's fine.
No, dude, just pause it real quick.
I can't just like pause it.
Really?
No. This what do you need?
Can you like, I don't know, like edit it out then?
It'll take like a year to do the thing. Why?
What?
It'll take like a year like to edit it out and render.
How?
Because it has to render it all once you edit it, even though it knows most of it.
But you can't just like cut stuff out and be like, damn, that's rough.
I can I can quickly mute you on the audio if you want.
Yeah, sure, do that.
Okay, you should be muted. So what do you need? So we're back. So because Vinayak's on a Mac, he had some issue or whatever, and basically what happened was his thing couldn't. Something happened. He closed his Fusion and it didn't save, as you probably saw by that. So what I'm gonna do is this isn't most of the time this wouldn't happen. But I'm gonna put my thing in his. I'm gonna like put my like work from the FTC bot, like all the things. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Technically, not realistic, whatever, but whatever. It just he was there. He just had to go do something and accidentally click the button. However, I can demonstrate how to move stuff. It's just right click, hit copy. Parts catalog, or no, students work with Vinayak FTC bot, and hit copy. And then those will appear. And I can also double check by just clicking on this students work Vinayak. So our FTC bot. And there you go. So do you see my bot 1 and 2? Just open my bot 2.
Okay.
And now you have the wheels on. So I'm just gonna show the color because I know where like all the things are because I've done it like a decent amount, so it should be a little bit quicker. But so we're gonna open the right wheel by double clicking. I'm gonna close the left one, and what I'm gonna do is just double select everything once again. And there's a bunch of different textures. You can really spend some time looking at textures, but I really would only recommend doing that once you're at the end. Hit A for appearance or right click. I don't want to hit close, it may close all that. So what you normally can do is see all these, go down to plastic, then opaque, and then you get all this other stuff. That's glossy or matte. Let's go for a matte one because the other one is actually let's go for glossy. This is the one Derek used. Derek was the old captain, so this is glossy now, which is the same thing as the black. I just hit save. Then once I save it, I go to my bot 2. In the top left, I see this one component is out of date. You know, let's say 2. I just if we had 2, I just click on it, and then it will automatically update after a second. And now it's red. Or if I change something, like let's say I decided to randomly delete this. I don't know why. I just deleted it, but I just come up here, click. And now, as you can see, one of them is deleted. Obviously, I'm just going to keep it there for now because I don't want to waste that much time going back and adding it. But, yeah. Also, I have to refresh this folder to see that. Alright, so... Alright, Vinayak, did you update your stuff now? So you have MyBot 2 open with the updated black and red colors? Alright, great. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to save this again. Hit File, Save As. And then wherever your location is, see I have the parts catalog open, so it's going to load that. So we just come here, and then students work, Aiden, FTC bot again, my bot 3. Normally we'd add some gears and maybe some of the motors, depending. But for now, just adding the wheels in is fine. Just trying to give you an iteration idea. And now we're going to insert, not sponsored anyway, by the way, a Robotics something type of controller board, which is what we use. We use 2 of these for our electronic box. So now we're going to just use one of these, and I'm going to show you how you use this and use your previous skills and knowledge to make something to make this. So obviously we can't just attach it to the back. And last time I got the measurements really precise. I'm not going to do that this time because it's a little bit longer. And this is once again just to show you how it works. So I'm just going to click on this wall. And this isn't going to work. I'm just demonstrating it. So if I click on this wall. And then I click on this wall. And it's going to give me a weird angle that they touch at. It can kind of be useful. I've never really had to use it. But yeah, so we're just gonna actually, instead, is we can just come here, select the line, and now we know this is 143 millimeters. Normally I'd make a plate at 100. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So create sketch. I said I was gonna do this, but we're just gonna do it anyway. On the floor, and then we know we need to make this 145, make it a little bit bigger, millimeters by 1 millimeter, and hit enter. And the reason I chose 1 is because we don't have a measurement yet. We didn't hit finish sketch because we're not done with the sketch. We just did that. We're just gonna come here and measure this now. And we know it's 103, so now I know I need to make this 105. So close the measure. I just have to come up here, double click on this little part right here, and it will bring up this menu. And then I can type 105, hit enter, and it resized it, which is pretty cool in my opinion, because now it just allowed me to edit it without having to do something complicated, and I can type measurements in. Then hit E to extrude like normal, and then I want to make this a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch thick, because that's some type of measurement. I'm sure we have some type of acrylic That's what the old one was made of, some type of acrylic. So 120, 0.2125, that's way too thin, and I don't want to have to change all that. What I can do is just type inch, and it gets rid of what the default one is, just for this, and there we go. Then we're gonna come here, because we need some other place. We could just put it on the back like this, but I don't want to do that. I want to show you a little bit more complicated thing. Although I am gonna do it on this side. There is a port right there. We're not gonna worry about that, because I just want to make this a quick tutorial, just show you guys, introduce like I've been saying. So click here, hit extrude, and then we're gonna make 0.125 inch again, and then we're gonna hit new body. The reason we chose new body is because we want to be able to extrude this again without making a sketch and making it really complicated. So come here, extrude this up by about, let's actually measure this. So I can come here and get this face, then measure this face, and it's about 30 millimeters. So we'll make it's a little under 30, so we're gonna make this 30, 30, or that's 20, 30, and then this join will work like that, and then it will automatically connect it there, making it nice and smooth. So now all we have to do is joint, come here, select the middle. Well, that's not the middle. This is one thing I do find annoying. So you have to kind of hold, don't do that. So you have to, so we want this face, but we want to select that square that disappears. So what you do is you click and hold, and that'll let you select that square. So you gotta click and hold, and then you can select that square. Although, there we go. So joint, drag and hold, then you select that square, make it rigid, and then come here, I can select this square, and now this will fit. All those ports are showing except for that bottom one, but we don't really care about that bottom one for now. I'm sorry. And then hit OK. Then what we're gonna do is, because bodies can't, well, you know, first we're gonna make this body and hit right click and just hit appearance. And Vinayak, just follow me exactly on this. So in the folder plastic, we're gonna go down to, no, close opaque, to transparent, and then you can grab any of these acrylic red or acrylic here, or you could even use polycarbonate. I normally sometimes use polycarbonate for clear stuff, although I think the acrylic red looks pretty dope for this situation. So we're just gonna keep the acrylic red in, and then we're gonna put this on the back of that. It may not be the most optimal spot, definitely not, but that's not the point. The point is we're just putting it on there just to get you guys introduced to putting stuff on there. But the problem is we can't joint. We can joint. Hold up. Well, first let me move this to be in the right angle, like I've been saying. Get this, move this. Vinayak, you're following along with everything, right? Vinayak.
My bad. I was on a mute, but yeah, I am.
All right, great. So move this to be in the right angle. Oh, this did not attach. Here's the reason why. And I was just about to say this, but I thought it worked, and then I was going to demonstrate. So this is a body, not a component. In order to make it attach with rigid, or with a joint, we have to make this a component. Just click and make it a right click, and then hit make component. Here it would say make component instead of new component, but whatever. And then we can just come here to joint, come down here, click it, and don't unselect that. Click and drag so it's in the middle, and then select that.
Hold on, Aiden, I just have a question again.
No
what
problem.
thickness did you make the platform where the Rev Robotics controller is going to be on?
I made that an 7-inch thick because I know that's somewhere in the ballpark of what we normally use, because it's thin.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure we have something similar to that. If not, we have exactly
Can you
that.
put like 1.8?
You have to do
put, like, wait, is it like 125?
It's 0.125. That's 1/8. Obviously, you could take a calculator and type
right.
1/8. That will work. I kind of wish you could type the decimal, but anyway. So now I just jointed.
You mean
it
the
on
fraction?
Here. Yeah, the fraction. So now we're just we take that joint, and now we're gonna take the few things. So let's do a few things. So obviously the one problem with this is there's technically no mounting points. That is a mistake I made. Oops. We can technically save. Let's do this. So we're gonna make a slightly different robot than I made last time, because this technically has nowhere to mount it if we wanted to mount it on the back of this polycarbonate plate. So we're just gonna, or not acrylic plate. We're gonna put that there, and then we're going to. You could just hit flip, but that's not what we want. We're gonna rotate it around like this, and then 270, perfect. And now we have the Rev Robotics, and then the idea is you'd put screws in holes here, here, and here, and here, and it would attach. Obviously, you know, this is just to get you guys, once again, this is just to show you guys how kind of things are done. Obviously, there'd be a lot more of a plan, and not just me saying, gotta make a tutorial, quickly, throw this, and that together. But we're almost done, so we're gonna hit, first off, tutorial. I just want to see where we are. Aiden, FTC bot again. So we're on my bot 3, which is perfect, because this is the update, or this is the third iteration. Normally we'd add other stuff, but we're going to do one final iteration before we get to this one. We're going to do one final thing, and it's going to be adding this. And the idea of adding that is going to be showing you how things kind of are supposed to work with a team. So we're going to go to our tutorial parts catalog and open our foundation mover. And this was a thing we'd used during the Skystone FTC season. Make that 90 degrees. And I'm just using it here because it's a nice small part that kind of fits the robot. And the way this works is pretty simple. This is just a servo. It would flip this or rotate this around, and it would be able to pull stuff. I think this is maybe an older design of it, but that's not the point. The point is, the idea is that, let's say, since I'm just a CAD guy, let's say I designed like the base, like I did BAMF for the FTC. I designed the base and the chassis and whatnot, and how the wheels go on. And then let's say my good friend Vinayak was the one that designed this. You know, he was like, okay, I do electronics. I also do this. And he was like, okay, so this server's got to go here. I like this mounting plate, and this, and this. I will say this mounting plate is a little bit incompatible because I don't know why, it just is. But that's besides the point. We're just going to take this piece, joint, and then we can pick really any point. I'm just select the center for now. And then I just want to see where this would end up if I put it on the top. Once again, I just right-clicked and hit Insert to Design. So now in here, it kind of matches up, although not that well. It's a little laggy. Okay. Because it would kind of match up there in the center, but that's not a point that's usable. So, I'm trying to think of what I could do to avoid this. And there's not much I can really do besides shifting the whole thing. So I'm going to make this 2.5, I like specific movements. I make this 2.5 millimeters down, and then move it a bit to the right. Let's make this like 5.1, 5.2, or actually even better, I can just joint come down here, grab this, and then I just want to have this go sit on top of this hole right here. And you know, there are some things that match up this whole match up. So it's not the best solution, but once again, you know, there is another part of this component that attached. It had a special thing. I just put this on here to throw it together, and I'd say we're pretty much done. So we're once again File, Save As, MyBot 4, and I'd say we're pretty done. Well, what we did in this tutorial was we made the base, and I said, well, don't forget, it has to be realistic. We can't just attach these to nothing. We added these little clamps here to make sure they all attach. We added wheels. We didn't add any things to move the wheels or any gears, but once again, just trying to get you into it. We then made a custom electronics box, in air quotes, for this. And then we mounted this on. And then we also imported a design made by, well, I believe it was made by me or Patrick, but we import a design that was made by someone else besides me, just pretend for this tutorial. I don't remember for sure. And then we imported that because that way the idea is we're teaching everyone to use CAD, so that way other people can make stuff. They can just make little designs of things in the area they're given. Vinayak, did you follow along with everything then?
Yeah, what's it called? Just give me 1 second. I'm really close to getting to where you are.
Alright, great. So while he does that, I'm just gonna do one more small detail that I think a lot of people should do. And I should start doing as well. Because the gray is nice. Don't get me wrong, I like the gray, but personally, I like metal in my opinion. Maybe you should look a little more like metal. So click this, hit A. I can come close plastic and then open metal. And let's say it's aluminium, whatever. You have all these nice different colors. I'm only gonna do this for now. Actually, polished. That looks alright. What do we have? Bead blasted. It may look better in a render, probably. So this one's gonna be bead blasted, or whatever, polished. Save that. This one is gonna be, blue. And save that. And this one is gonna be red, although the 4th of July, already passed. Just trying to fit a bit more 4th of July in here. So, there we go. Those are all saved. I just hit update. And now we have the black and red Herndon. But then we also have the red, white, and blue, although this isn't red. Even though it's the 144mm plate. That's interesting.
Oh.
I think it's because
wow.
I think I know why it happened. I think it's because I update. You don't have to do this, by the way. This is just for the viewers or the other people watching. Because normally, obviously, I'm doing the red, white, blue as a joke. Well, the white's not a joke because the white is actually like aluminum colored. But I think it didn't color because I pre-cut it. And I cut it and I modified it. But now I can save this. And we're just going to go to the render tab to look at it nicely in the end. Once we have all
Aiden, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if Fusion closes unexpectedly and you don't save anything, right? Like, what happens exactly? Like, if you relog in, will everything still be there?
Depends on the auto save. If you have that on, depending on how far you saved. Most likely,
I have no idea. It says a software problem has caused Fusion 360 to close unexpectedly, and it says like you can report the, I don't know, crash thing.
I think
or not.
I think your computer's just having a hard time with Fusion today.
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably not gonna use the Mac next time. Probably gonna use something else.
But he was following along pretty well. I did have to, get his stuff back by just giving him mine, but he was following along, guys. And, obviously the red, white, blue, not America's not a joke or anything, but like, that's just for like, having fun. But obviously the white is something compared to this gray, which is dark and drab. The white aluminum is a really nice shine to it, and this is a bit more realistic to what it may be. I don't know if it is the aluminum, it may be whatever other metal, but that's just showing you these are definitely not matte or not shiny, they're matte. The acrylic actually is probably pretty accurate because it's acrylic, although it's not dark red. But anyway, besides that, thank you guys for watching. And you guys just have a good day, and there may be a 3rd tutorial, maybe not today, maybe in a few days.
Save.
The 3rd tutorial, I'm going to probably try to keep it a bit more simple, but I'm hoping that can be like a dedicated like electronics box video, since Vinayak does electronics, and I kind of want to model like how an electronics area would look, and maybe attempt to add some wires, just to get a little bit more detail in there. But besides that, make sure you subscribe if you're from another team, so you can see our tutorials. And have a good one.